The story starts with a girl named Cairo. Her parents live in another country, so she stays alone in a quiet house. Writing is her hobby. One day, while walking through the jungle, Cairo reaches a classroom. There, she meets Jonathan Miller. Jonathan is a middle-aged man who wanted to be a writer but was not successful, so he became a teacher instead. When Cairo joined Jonathan's class, he asked her to read some books from the syllabus. But Cairo had already read all of them, which surprised Jonathan. Then, another girl named Winnie came in. She was not only a student in the class but also a good friend of Cairo. Cairo and Winnie went out to get something to eat. While they were leaving, Jonathan noticed an adult book in Cairo's things. Boris, Jonathan's friend, also came there with his coffee. He took the book from Jonathan and started reading. Both Boris and Jonathan were shocked to see that it was a copy of a book written by Jonathan. Jonathan's wife, Beatrice, is busy at night, so he tries to get her attention. He tells her, "A student was reading my book in class today." Then, Beatrice gets a call from her friend, Amy. After the call, she and Jonathan drink together and get closer. But then, Beatrice gets another call, which makes Jonathan frustrated. The next day, he tells his friend Boris about it. Boris laughs and makes fun of him. While talking, they both see Cairo walking out of the jungle. Jonathan was not happy with last night. He looked at Cairo carefully and asked, "Aren't you scared to come from the jungle?" Cairo smiled and said, "I am the scariest thing in those jungles." Jonathan laughed when he heard that. At school, Winnie dropped her books. Boris knew she did it on purpose. He asked, "Winnie, what do you want?" Winnie was teasing Boris on purpose. Cairo saw this and said, "You are totally crazy." Then, they both went to Cairo's house. Cairo was worried about a question for her college admission, where she had to write about the biggest achievement of her life. They discussed many things, but none seemed special. Then, Winnie jokingly suggested that Cairo should write about having an affair with her teacher. Cairo was shocked and said that Jonathan was 20 years older than her. But Winnie kept convincing her, saying that these things are normal now and that Jonathan was a good man, perfect for her first time. Winnie started talking about Jonathan in front of Cairo, describing how he looked at her in class. Cairo felt shy but also curious. From the next day, she started paying more attention to Jonathan. One day, Jonathan noticed her staring and asked her to meet him after class. After class, Jonathan invited Boris to dinner. Boris left, doing a dance step on his way out. After he was gone, Jonathan tried to copy the dance step, and just then, Cairo arrived. They both laughed and moved on. Jonathan was so impressed by a paragraph Cairo had written that he memorized an entire section from it. Cairo noticed that Jonathan read her paragraph carefully, and she was happy. Jonathan wanted Cairo to write a short story in the style of her favorite author. If she did this, he would give her full marks on the midterm. Cairo agreed right away and told Jonathan that she had also read his book. She even remembered many lines from it, just like Jonathan. Jonathan was impressed and invited Cairo to meet him this weekend to discuss her assignment. At night, Jonathan and his wife went out for dinner. Winnie came to take their order. Beatrice asked Jonathan, "Is she the girl you were talking about?" Jonathan said, "No, her name is Cairo." But it was clear that Beatrice was jealous of Jonathan's interest in Cairo. She got angry and started insulting him in front of Boris. "You don't have that special thing anymore," she said. "You haven't written anything in years. You're just an ordinary teacher now." One weekend, Cairo went to a place that Jonathan had mentioned before. Jonathan followed her and sat next to her. A man there started reciting a poem. Jonathan listened carefully, while Cairo kept looking at him. After the poem ended, Cairo went outside and lit a cigarette. Jonathan joined her and shared the cigarette. The next day, Cairo appeared in front of Jonathan wearing a stylish dress. When Boris asked about it, Cairo didn't say anything. After Boris left, Cairo started talking to Jonathan. They were getting closer. While walking to class, Jonathan got a message from his wife about making plans to go somewhere. In class, Cairo told Jonathan about her favorite author and said she would write a story in that style. Jonathan was in a hurry to go home, so he quickly said yes. After he left, Winnie climbed onto Jonathan's table and teased Cairo. Then, Boris came to meet Jonathan. Winnie started teasing Boris too. She took his phone and hid it in her clothes. Meanwhile, Cairo couldn't find her own phone. On the other hand, Jonathan's plan with his wife got cancelled because she was busy with work. Jonathan got a call from Cairo. Actually, he had taken Cairo's phone by mistake and put it in his bag. Jonathan and his wife's plan was already cancelled, so he decided to return the phone to Cairo. When he reached outside Cairo's house, it started raining. Cairo came out wearing a thin dress. They looked at each other for a moment, then they kissed. After that, Jonathan went back home. Later, Cairo sent him an email. Jonathan's wife told him, "I can't focus on my work while you're here." So, Jonathan went to a small cabin nearby. There, he printed the story Cairo had sent him and started reading it. It was an adult story about a student and a teacher, similar to him and Cairo. Jonathan got excited and took off his pants. But the next day, everything changed. He didn't call Cairo like he usually did. Cairo asked him what was wrong. Jonathan simply said, "I didn't like your story at all. There are a lot of mistakes in it." When she said, "It's all about us," Jonathan clearly told her, "There is nothing between us. I am just your teacher and you are my student. Nothing else." Hearing this, Cairo's heart broke. Jonathan then said, "Rewrite your story, or I will fail you in the midterm." Cairo got even angrier. She said, "My story is perfect. You are just scared because I wrote what you couldn't." To insult Jonathan, she called him a common writer. Then she challenged him, "If you are brave enough, fail me now." Cairo went home crying and started drinking with Winnie. Meanwhile, Jonathan looked tense. His wife noticed and asked, "What happened?" Jonathan told her about Cairo's written story. When she heard it, she got excited too. But before they could do anything, Boris arrived. Jonathan felt frustrated again. Meanwhile, Cairo and Winnie were talking. Cairo told Winnie that Jonathan was only pretending to be close to her. Then, Cairo told Winnie to message Boris to distract him. Winnie started teasing Boris, but he didn't react. To get Boris's attention, Cairo made a decision. Both Cairo and Winnie took off their clothes and got close. Then they sent their photos to Boris. As soon as Boris saw the photos, he left Jonathan's house. At the same time, Jonathan's wife got a call from Jonathan's school. The whole school had already found out about Jonathan and Cairo's affair. Jonathan's wife was shocked when she heard this. She asked him, "Why is all this happening just because of a student's story? Did something else happen between you and that girl?" Jonathan said no. The next day, Cairo didn't come to class. She was in the vice principal's office. The vice principal asked both Cairo and Jonathan, "What is going on?" Cairo told the truth. "Jonathan gave me a midterm assignment early. We smoked cigarettes together. We also met outside of school." When it was Jonathan's turn to speak, he hesitated. Seeing this, the vice principal understood everything. She suspended Jonathan from his job. Outside the office, Boris said to Jonathan, "You should have known your limits. Now, because you crossed the line, you are in this situation." Then Boris left. When Jonathan went home and told his wife he was fired, she started doubting him even more. She asked again, "Did something happen between you two?" Jonathan denied it again, but his wife didn't believe him. She asked, "Do you have feelings for that girl?" Jonathan stayed silent. They started arguing and pointing out each other's flaws. The fight got so bad that Jonathan's wife decided to divorce him. Meanwhile, Winnie met Cairo. She said, "Because of what you did, Jonathan lost his job." But Cairo didn't care anymore. She said that Jonathan underestimated me, but now he will know what I really am. Cairo told all these things to her greatest achievement. Finally, Cairo said that neither Jonathan has a job now nor his wife. Will he be able to write? Now on that note, movie ends. So, friends, that's all for today's video. If you liked it, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, peace out.